Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's December 1st, 2022, 5:45 on the East Coast. So I wanted to go, I wanted to be there for the presser today for the Michael Vaughn case. I was listening in my earphones, but I was also in the carpool at picking up the kids. So, a lot, a lot to go over today in this Michael Vaughn case. We are going to break it down word by word because when we slow things down, we understand the words better every single day, or not every single day, in every single way. When we're constantly, hanging on for the next word. And it's very important that we go and talk about them, the words as they come in. So
Not going to get into
without further ado, we're going to get
this.
started on this in just a second, if you don't mind. We missed you too, honey. I hope you're feeling better. I really do. All right, let's get started.
Watching Idaho News 6, I'm Don Nelson, Wormley and the Home Press.
For the continued coverage.
Okay, so it's going to sound like he's slow or drunk. It's not. It's just we have slowed down the words because I want us to understand them, and then I'm going to stop at what I perceive tells something greater. So just want to put that out there. What was the chat saying? I was in the carpool line too. It was hard to listen. Yeah, it really was. It really was. But we got it nonetheless. All right. Oh, my camera's off there. Okay. All right, here we go.
Of the Michael Vaughn case. I also wanted to begin by just giving my sincere thanks to all the law enforcement agencies, local businesses, and members of the public who helped us over the course of the last year and a half of this intense investigation. More recently, during the last 3 weeks, we could not have completed the work necessary without the selfless help of others. The community support has been absolutely incredible. As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all hands on deck investigation. and it remains very active and an ongoing investment.
Hey guys, no, I'm having a bit of technical difficulty. 1 second. I was uploading something big and my computer is trying to crash. So just give me 1 second, please. I tell you what, it's like with YouTube, I don't know what's going on with it either. Everyone's been having a hard time with 1 second. Mm, Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. 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 You can hear me. Perfect. Perfect. I'm sorry about that, guys. I was trying to upload something and it just got in the way for me. All right. 2 seconds. Now I lost everything that I had pulled up. Great. Mm. Here. I gotta pull it back up, guys. I found some really what I would consider very uh, interesting things today. Let's see here. I love having technical difficulty. Sorry. Mm. Okay, here we go. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna slow it down because that's the only way we will get to understand exactly. So it's gonna sound like he's a little drunk, but
Hey, I just wanted to start out by saying thank you to our media partners. Thanks for being here. And thank you for the continued coverage of the Michael Vaughn case. Um, I also wanted to begin by just giving my sincere thanks to all the law enforcement agencies. Local community support has been absolutely incredible. As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all hands on deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop.
I love, just a side note, I love how he says, you can't take one of our most precious citizens from us, because obviously Michael is precious. Every child is precious. I just thought that was an endearing moment. And I know this has to really rock the his heart along with the town.
During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughn could be found in the backyard at 11:02 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wandra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement.
I'm sorry, I haven't been unmuting myself. Jesus to goodness. Um, Side note, so JD Huff here, he says that they believe, based upon credible and evidence. So the evidence obviously has to be credible, and they had to have some sort of evidence to go there, to have probable cause to go up, tear that backyard up. And Sarah was caught by surprise. She did not know that the police were coming. JD Huff, later on in this video, he says that someone in the home gave a credible tip. Okay? Now, who could that someone be in that home that gave that credible tip? Well, Sarah didn't know the Fruitland Police Department, the FBI, and all of them were showing up. Now, Stacy, Wandra, Sarah's husband, soon to be ex-husband, he had federal charges coming to him of three different things, federal charges. He knew he was going to be in jail for a long, long time. And so what I think happened, Stacy and everyone else that was staying in that home did not know that Fruitland Police Department was coming. And I believe that Stacy did the talking. Remember, he's been in prison or jail since May of this year. He had plenty of time to talk, and he had plenty of time to make a deal. Yes, Chris McDonough from the interview room, God bless the man. He works now as he's a retired homicide detective. He has been working, I want to say, with the Cold Case Foundation. I think that's what it says on his blazer there. And so God bless him for being there. Yes, he was behind J.D. Huff there, along with, I believe, others at the Cold Case Foundation. Now, so, we have to remember, I think Stacy wanted a deal. Sarah also filed for divorce. I think that ticked Stacy off. And he thought, well, you know what? If my ass is going to sit in here for decades based upon these federal charges, I'm going to see if I can cut a deal. That's what I think happened. Because J.D. Huff clearly at the end of this, when they're taking questions, says someone within the house gave credible evidence. So, yeah, we'll keep listening.
The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wandra's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains.
Okay, now we got to remember this. J.D. Huff is saying that multiple cadaver dogs hit in the yard for human remains. Obviously, before you go digging, if one dog says that there's something there, they have to get a confirmation from another dog. But in this case, they are saying that human remains was there at one point. They did not find Michael Vaughn's remains. Are they Monkey's remains or someone else's? Karen, I believe the answer could be both, potentially, but the police are saying, no, in a very direct sense, that Michael Vaughn is deceased. Do you think Stacy lied? I do not think Stacy lied. I think that they have rock solid proof that, and we'll talk about it more in a moment, that Michael Vaughn was abducted. They didn't find remains, but this is the thing. Whenever a body has been placed in the ground, they don't have vaults or anything like that, and there is decomposition. They can test the soil around it and find that exactly around it. Exactly. They can find that there has been decomposition in this area.
Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains.
Listen to this carefully. The dirt was sifted for any potential human remains. J.D. Huff does not say, he doesn't say for Michael Vaughn's human remains. He says for any potential human remains. It's very important that we understand this word by word when we slow it down, and we're just not waiting to hear the next word of the sentence. For any potential human remains. He doesn't just say Michael Vaughn's human remains. So, you know, who's to say that they've just done this to Michael? We don't know. But now listen to what he says after this.
We did not find Michael's remains.
We did not find Michael's remains. So he's saying we didn't find any human remains, and we didn't find Michael's human remains either.
Although the remains of Michael Vaughn were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence,
Although Michael Vaughn's remains were not recovered, we strongly believe, this is the very important, with evidence. With evidence. It's very important, with evidence. So it's that's something that is very important. Not only do they believe it, but they have it with evidence.
that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughn were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased.
So what they're saying is they're based on evidence. They believe that Michael Vaughn's was abducted and is deceased, no longer living.
And that his remains were buried and later moved from the property.
That his remains were buried. Why does that keep on that? That his remains were buried and later moved from the property. So they're saying that they have evidence of an abduction, a crime, and that they have evidence that his body was removed from there. Yes, exactly. I plead the fifth. When you slow it down, you understand it better about what they are really saying. It is horrible. It is horrible. So they have evidence of all of this. Now, you can't just say, "Oh, well, nothing showed up, but we still think he was there at one time." No, you have to have some sort of physical evidence that there has been a body or that something of him was found there. Now, I'll talk about this more shortly.
As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wandra's residence. The search was productive and additional investigative evidence was recovered.
So, like I said a few weeks ago, that they were in the house, and that, and JD Huff here is also saying that they found additional evidence. Bobby, I mean, that is a dog, a cadaver dog, smelling, remains. That is not really evidence. The evidence has to be that something was there. They have to define something or test something. That is just an indicator that something or someone was in the ground or in the area of the yard. Oh, that's okay, Annie. No worries. So it said that the inside of the house was productive and more additional evidence was found.
And is currently being processed. Evidence suggests that there are the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughn.
Now, who are the current, out of all of these people that live there, who are the two that are in custody? The first person that was in custody is Stacy. He has been in there since May of this year. And Sarah has recently, she was just, whenever they started searching, the day after, I believe, is when she was, it was in November, the first part of November, I think it was the 5th. But so those are the only two that are in custody, and he's saying that they certainly know something. 1111, thank you.
This is Sarah Wandra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction.
That's a huge statement. Huge statement. Sarah was living at 1102 the time Michael Vaughn went missing. We believe, with evidence, that Sarah had first-hand knowledge of Michael Vaughn's abduction and disappearance. Abduction and disappearance. First-hand knowledge. So they're saying they know.
Sarah Wandra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement.
So they have proof. They have proof, which is evidence, really, that Sarah failed to report a death to the coroner. Now, like I said, Sarah was arrested November. Who could have been talking? We're going back to that. Who could have been talking and proved that Sarah was in on it? And that would be, in my opinion, Stacy. April, I think they have, in my opinion, yes. Old Stacy. That's exactly right. He was in jail. He's going, regardless, guys, regardless of Stacy is in jail right now for unrelated charges. Unrelated. They're federal charges. He can face decades without even any charges of Michael Vaughn. Okay? So he was mad at Sarah. He started talking. He gave the police the tips enough to show that she was involved. I'm going to back that up for 2 seconds.
And was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Sarah Wandra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement.
So in my opinion, Stacy had to give them some sort of really good probable cause at the very minimum that that Sarah did not report a death. And they have to have, you can't just say, that we believe, that he's dead. They're saying, they have actually charged her with failure to report a death. That is, you got to have paperwork to say that one is deceased. So they got something, and they got something big.
This is Sarah's husband, Stacy Wandra, 30 years old, a male. Stacy was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacy has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughn.
Again, JD Huff here is saying, we believe that Stacy has firsthand knowledge that Michael Vaughn, in the abduction of Michael Vaughn and his disappearance. They have evidence, real evidence, that they did something.
Stacy's currently being held in the Washington County Jail on unrelated charges.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, he involved. It says a lot. Yes, it does. Stacy is being held on unrelated charges. Now, why haven't they charged Stacy, who is in jail on unrelated charges? Why haven't they charged him yet for not for failure to report a death or anything else? And it's my belief that the reason they haven't charged him anything in related with the Michael Vaughn case at this time is because he is working. He is cutting a deal. Yes, because he's cooperating. Bingo. Oh, trust me, he's going to get charged with this. He's going to get charged with this. But they're working out a deal still. And I mean, it's, just because you're working out a deal doesn't mean, you get, you get free of something, right? But that's my belief. They've got him in jail regardless on unrelated charges. And like I said, with the unrelated charges, he could be in prison for decades. If, he got the maximum sentence on all the charges. But they have not charged him anything with not reporting a death or anything related to the Michael Vaughn case. And that is my personal belief is why they haven't charged him. But they have Sarah because he ratted, he told, he wants to work a deal out.
Now, the next individuals I'm going to introduce you to, let's go at the bottom there. This is Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacy Wandra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance. And we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Brandon is.
So then we have Hot Tub Brandon, right? And they are alleging, JD Huff is alleging as well, that Brandon has first-hand knowledge of the abduction. Did he say disappearance on that one? I need to listen to that again. Let's listen to that again.
This is Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacy Wandra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance. And we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Brandon.
Okay, so for this one, he just says Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael Vaughn's abduction. He didn't say abduction and disappearance. He just said abduction in this one.
And is currently believed to be in North Dakota.
And as we know, he is in a hot tub, somewhere in a hot tub in North Dakota. And something is not right with this guy. Something's not right.
Adrian Lucian, 32.
Okay, this is Adrian, and it's Lucien is how you pronounce it. Lucien. I know someone that has a name, Lucien. So people pronounce it differently, but it's Lucien. And this guy travels from Toledo, Ohio to California a lot. And I'm going to tell you something very interesting about one of the areas that he lives in.
Year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and Stacy Wandra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance. And we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian.
So they believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's disappearance. Firsthand knowledge. And we have to remember, he said earlier with these individuals that they have firsthand knowledge based on evidence on all of these characters here. Firsthand knowledge based on evidence. Based on evidence. It's so important that we realize that. And I have talked to some, I'll just say officers in the past, and they have told me that Toledo, Ohio is one of the top human trafficking places in the United States. Now, that I want to make this very clear. That does not mean that Michael Vaughn was human trafficked. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's interesting that Adrian goes back and forth for some reason to Toledo, Ohio, to somewhere in California. And it is, why are you bouncing around like that? And it is truly one of the human trafficking capitals of the United States.
Adrian's currently believed to be in Toledo, but floats between Ohio and California. I strongly encourage Shirtliff and Lucien to contact the Fruitland Police Department detectives as the window of time for talking and cooperation is coming to a close.
Big statement right there. Big statement. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely single mom on four. Absolutely. Toledo it's rough. It is rough. That is a big statement, guys. Big statement. JD Huff, he said that he would recommend that both of these males come forward, cooperate with this investigation because it's quickly coming to a close. Quickly coming to a close. Now, JD Huff is not playing around here. He has been nothing but 1000% honorable this entire case. The entire case. And I think we need more JD Huffs throughout the world, and especially in the United States. So what they're saying is, you come see us before we come see you. Because if you come to us and you work with us and you talk to us and you give us the information that we already know that you know, things will be easier for you. You want to lie to us about what we already know? It's not going to go down well. Oh, but they are wanted for questioning. Yeah, Jacqueline, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate your membership. Thank you for your support. Just getting on, did they make an arrest? They have not made an arrest for anything other than Sarah, which was not reporting a death to a coroner. There has been no other charges that we are aware of that has been filed against any of them at this point. Regina, that's a good point. I would suggest that Brandon and Adrian and anyone else who was in that home, please do not speak with any other YouTubers. Go speak with the police. Go speak with the police. We don't need to be speaking to anyone that we now know. Today, we know that they are believed to be involved, that they were just not standing by idly, but they are believed, based upon what JD Huff says with evidence, that these other two are involved. So I know that Brandon watches us on YouTube. And Brandon, what I'm telling you, please don't speak to anyone on YouTube or anyone else other than the authorities or an attorney. That is all I can tell you. But we don't need to be talking to him whatsoever. And Camille, thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you and I love you to pieces. Love you to pieces. I really do. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, I mean, this is the thing. We learned a lot in the JLR, that interview. And they were not, I mean, from what I understand, they weren't named as like by name as suspects. They just said that they were living in the house. So JLR was just, talking to someone that was in the house. And it's going to, no, nobody's bad talking JLR. I think we learned a lot in that. And I think it's going to be extraordinarily valuable for, I think that the interview that JLR did with Brandon is going to be extraordinarily valuable for this case moving forward. I think it's definitely going to be extremely valuable for police and potentially prosecutors in the very, very short future. So I think it was actually a good thing that hell, he's talking a lot. He was singing like a canary, now what he was saying doesn't mean it's the truth, but they can use that as a reference point. But you said over in this interview, if the police are interviewing, but you said over in this interview that this and this happened. Why am I showing you that this and this is happening? You're conflicting yourself, Brandon, right? So that's what they can do. Thank you so much, Opal Jerk. Thank you from all the jerks. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate your support. It really does mean a lot. So yeah.
This remains an active and ongoing investigation with conversations taking place with the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office about Michael's case and those individuals involved. We also believe that there are others associated with the Wandras, Shirtlift, and Lucine who may have knowledge of Michael's abduction, and I would strongly encourage them to come forward and speak with my detectives.
Another powerful statement that they also believe that others know about an abduction or a death, and they are recommending that they come and talk to the authorities now. And police are not just going to say, well, we think that someone might be out there that knows more. They have some sort of, whether it be cell phones, text, physical evidence, or whatever, that other people, maybe others who stayed in that house, know a lot more. This is the thing. They said that they found no human remains, but they do, based upon evidence, believe that remains was in that yard, and that they have also been removed. Now, they have also said that they have found additional physical evidence. Now, does that mean, they could have found, we don't know. They could have found something like a toy, a shoe, or something like that. They're not going to tell us that, obviously, because they have to keep that close to the vest. They don't want to jeopardize the case on anything that they would found, because they want to tie that evidence with the ones that did this. They don't want to say, well, was there for instance, a scooter, in this side of the yard or that side of the yard. They're not going to tell us that. They're just going to say evidence or physical evidence.
When we finally reach the conclusion of this investigation, and I can assure you that we will, all of those who have knowledge of Michael's disappearance and have failed to report or hindered our investigation will be pursued.
Again, it goes back to him saying, you need to come and talk now or else. He said very clearly that we will find a conclusion to this investigation. And he also said everyone that we listed will be pursued, failed and or hindered. So in Sarah's case right now, she is being charged for failure to report a death, which means they have evidence that Sarah knows and is believed based upon evidence that she has cooperated with abducting Michael Vaughn and also not reporting his death. And he's saying everyone there that we mentioned will be pursued. That's pretty powerful.
There's a moment in time to do the right thing and bring your information forward and cooperate. And that moment in time is now.
Like I said, like right now, if they don't, they're giving them at a certain point, you know, either these people help you or they keep resisting and they don't speak, or they're just going, you know, after a certain point, there's no more working. There's no more deals that they're going to give you. It's gloves are completely off. We're coming for you the fullest force of the law, right?
To date, the Fruitland Police Department has received over 1,500 tips and leads, and we received many new leads since this phase of the investigation has began. We continue to ask our community for support and patience as we continue to aggressively work this case. We also ask that the Vaughn family's privacy continue to be respected, and we'll continue to post updates as information can be shared. Tips can be sent to findmichael@fruitland.org or to Crime Stoppers at 343cops.com or the Fruitland Police Department at 208-452-3110. Tipsters can remain anonymous.
Okay, guys, we have 1,056 in chat. If we could get those likes up, we need to get those likes up so more people can see this and get the story out. Continued to not let up until little Michael Vaughn, Monkey, is brought home to his family, where he should have never, ever have been taken from them. They deserve their son. Let's see this. Jag said someone blocked her. Okay, I'll look in just a. I'll try to look in just a minute. So yes, if we can get those likes up, I would appreciate it. If we can get them, let's see here. If we can get them to 1,000, if we can get or 900, how about 900? If we can get them to 900, I will give out 10 free memberships. How about that?
So before I open it up for questions, I just want to make it clear that this is a very active and ongoing investigation. It's super important that we maintain the integrity of this investigation. So I'd ask you that you'd please tailor your questions accordingly. With that, I'll stand for a few questions.
It's hard to hear most of the questions here, but you can hear the answers, and it's very important that we hear his answers as well about what he is saying. A side note, the two men in this still photo right here, this video, are, in my opinion, I'm kind of choked up about it, to be honest with you, the very best of humanity. There is a lot of evil in this world. And there are so many good people who fight day in and day out, and they get a lot of criticism a lot of times. Sometimes it's needed, and sometimes people do it and it's very unwarranted. But nonetheless, they do this every single day. Every single day. Chris, he has a YouTube channel, The Interview Room. He has done so much for this community, and there has been so many people that has bashed him. And I'm really proud of him for being behind JD.
Alex?
So if Wandra remains are not found, will Sarah have to be released, or do you think she may remain in jail once you locate the people that you call?
It is my belief that she will remain in custody. But again, we're in talks with the Fayette County prosecutor, and those talks are ongoing as far as charging.
You can speak to any additional evidence that was found in the house, like you said you can.
I cannot. Again, I just don't want to jeopardize the integrity of this investigation. Listen.
Wandra is listed in the inmate in Washington County Jail, but I had department hold. Are there any other charges aside from hers that have been filed in recent days?
Not that I'm aware of. Not at this point. Go ahead.
What was different about the tip you received in this case after, 1,500 tips over the last almost year and a half? What led to the arrest and the search? Can you share any more about what led you to that home?
I don't want to get into the details on that, but I can assure you that the tip that we received was credible. I also released that in an earlier statement that it came from one of the occupants of the home.
All right, that is very important, what JD just said, that the tip was credible and it came from one of the occupants in the home. Now, no one at the house that was living in the house whenever they pulled up and started searching that backyard. Sarah didn't know. The occupants that was living in that home at the time didn't know. The person that wasn't living in that house was Stacy. And Stacy was in jail since May. and he's looking for a deal, and he's also mad at Sarah. They're getting a divorce. In my opinion, Stacy told on himself and others while he has been in custody. I think Sarah or someone else moved. It's very possible. It's very possible. Yep. They may have. Now, we have to remember that Sarah had a crush on, you know, hot tub guy, right? Had a crush. And he said, the hot tub guy, Brandon, he said that Stacy was extremely jealous of him. So can you imagine Stacy being in jail? He's in custody for unrelated, but can receive decades for just those charges alone, unrelated to the Michael Vaughn case. And he's knowing that Brandon and these other guys are in there. He's jealous. So he's like, I'm going to wait for a long time. Maybe I can cut a deal. Maybe I can't. But I'm going to make sure that their ass is off the streets too. And that's exactly what he did, in my opinion, at least. So that tip, in my opinion, came from Brandon. Or, sorry, Stacy. Stacy.
which led to that, yes.
I'm sure that you guys in your investigation are following social media pages, which a lot of us have looked at. And one of them indicates a trip out of state taken within the time frame. I mean, without hampering the investigation, you guys are.
That's a good point, Natalie. That's a good body language point. Yes.
We are currently aware of a lot. And so I would tell you that
Dog.
we are
So in this question, he is asking, or the reporter is asking something that Stacy and all of them took a trip somewhere. And they was asking, if Michael could have been moved, or if they could have moved him in wherever they're talking about. And JD Huff, he says, we are aware of a lot. And that's what he says. We're just aware of a lot. So I think that was an interesting statement.
currently aware of a lot. And so I would tell you that you just need to trust us and trust in this investigation.
Yes, thank you. Justin, the TikTok, the dog trip out of state, the detour, getting stuck in the mud. Later, the car breaks down. Mechanic informed them the mud in the engine caused the issue. That's so important. You're a good sleuth, Bushi. Good sleuthy. You are. Very good point. It was that, and that was, if I recall correctly, that was the reporter's question when they were getting the dog and stuff. Why are you getting stuck in the mud and it's causing engine issues? And another thing that I found interesting is Brandon said the day that Michael Vaughn went missing, remember they were towing a truck or some type of vehicle. He mentions that. He also said that they was eating, I think, at Popeyes or something like that, and someone's, I think it was Adrian's family came in and they went to Applebee's, but then they later said that they went to an Apple store, which I found interesting because I'm thinking, were they trying to, were they getting some type of phone or some type of thing that they can communicate with, that, officers, they, to try to throw them off? So just a thought of mine.
We're making tremendous progress. We're comfortable with where we're at. I appreciate that question.
So Sarah Wandra didn't pass her, mental evaluation for when they were in the hearing and things. Do you think this affects the investigation at all, considering, that to be the case?
I do not at this point.
There have been mentions of a neighbor's yard. Has that been searched in any way or taken into consideration in this investigation?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we'll be deploying ground penetrating radar in the neighbor's yard tomorrow.
Now, the RSOs that live next to the Wandras, they have, and JD Huff says this, tomorrow they are doing ground penetrating radar, which is important. But not only is that important, he also states that they did this voluntarily, that they did not need a warrant. So the I don't know if, and we could say, well, that's nice that the RSOs is allowed that, but I don't think the RSOs own the property; they rent the property. So I think the landowners is the ones that actually, allowed them to search. I don't think it was the RSOs living there that said, hey, yeah, you can search the back of the property. I think it's the landowners that said, well, of course, if you think there could be something, go over there and look. So I think that's an important thing to differentiate the two. Can use them in the winter here. Can't use them in the winter here. Well, they said that they're using it tomorrow. So, maybe they melt the snow beforehand.
So we haven't done that yet, but we will. That's on the agenda for tomorrow. So thank you.
Aside from just living with the Wanderers, do we know what the relationship with the two men we named were?
Good point, Fluffy. They could have lost a phone that day. That's true.
This is ongoing. I'm not going to get into the semantics and dynamics of the relationship there. Alex?
A lot of neighbors spoke to us about a scooter that maybe you guys were looking for. Can you speak to anything about, like, you had found a scooter, if that was related, or if that's something that you were possibly looking for at the Wonders residence at all?
Again, that's evidentiary in nature, and I'm not going to speak to that at this point. So.
You mentioned the other property that's going to be starting to be searched tomorrow. Are there warrants for any other properties besides that have been sought out?
Not at this point, but through the course of this investigation, I believe that there are other locations that we will definitely be searching.
So they're going to be searching other areas. And we also have to remember that the Wandras, they had an oil changing business, right? So I would assume that they're going to be searching in that area as well. So yeah. So just a little bit of breaking news that kind of is a note to say. In the Delphi case, Richard Allen, he is stating that he is innocent and he is disputing the ballistic test that the police and authorities are saying that came from a gun that Richard Allen owned. So that was just breaking. So I just wanted to pass that along. So yeah, second to none. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, what about oil drums? Like as soon as I thought about them going over there searching, they had oil, and I'm thinking, obviously it would be a different type of oil drum, I'm sure. But I immediately thought of the Chris Watts case. I don't know if that is his plea per se at this time, but it just says that he is saying that the breaking news, it was just saying that he is saying that he is innocent and he is disputing the ballistics.
So there is no warrant for the search that we're going to do tomorrow. It's all consensual. So I appreciate that.
So that was the thing. There is no warrant for tomorrow, that it's all consensual. And I think that that's coming from the landowners, to be honest.
We did not have a warrant for any home in Cuna.
But was there a search
So,
related to his home?
yes, there was.
You said that you believe that one of them is in North Dakota and you haven't located.
El Bailey, yes, I think he was pleading
That's
not
what I'm
guilty.
saying.
Do you mind spelling their last names for us? I'm sorry.
Sure, I can. You obviously have the Wandra's last name, correct? Okay. Last of Shurtliff is Shurtliff. Last of Lucien is Lucienne. Okay, all right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to conclude this press conference. Karen, one more.
One more. If neither of these individuals do come forward with information, could they face any charges related to hampering an investigation or anything like that?
I would tell you that, I'm not going to discuss our investigative strategies at this point. But it is my belief that charges are forthcoming.
Charges are forthcoming, his belief. I want to show y'all something in just a moment. Scorpio, you're right. They've really been going through the gigs. Idaho. Something's up.
Talk more about that and about how they're doing.
You know,
It's gonna be tough.
it is tough. We've lived this case from the time that it began.
Guys, if we get the likes up to 900, I will give out 10 free memberships for this month.
And but I'm telling you, I've got a very strong, committed group of people here, And they come in here every day, and we're in this grind, and they are committed to finding Michael. And we're just not going to stop. Everybody should know that. We are not going to stop until we uncover the truth in its entirety, I would say. So thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right, there you have JD Huff and Chris McDonough with the Cold Case Foundation, and also with the interview room here on YouTube. And I believe there's others there with the Cold Case Foundation as well. All right, now I found the Wandra's taxi website. Faith, Hope, and Love Taxi LLC. This goes to show you that people are not always what they seem. Sharon, Josh from the lab today said that they are getting ready to go hard on the Summer Wells case, by the way. Sarah Jane, Nicole Overstreet, she is the reason that I started my channel. It was my first video that I ever done on this channel, and I have not given up on Angel Nicole Overstreet, and I have been talking to people in the area. I'll just say that, and I'm hoping to have an interview soon with that. So I am a native West Virginian, and although I live almost in Virginia, and I live like a mile and a half from Virginia, 2 miles, and Huntington is literally 3 hours from me. So, but I'm going to go there fairly soon because nobody is giving that the attention that it needs, in my opinion. I mean, there is some YouTubers that still talk about it, but she was just a little baby. Okay, let's look at this website, shall we? So it's faithtaxi.yolasite.com. And it's got Love, Faith, Hope, Taxi LLC, and it's got Christ carrying a cross, a blue rose. Currently only servicing Idaho and Ontario, and Huntington and Vale, and NASA. Prices vary on gas prices. Faith Taxi gift cards, pick your own amount. Gift cards never expire. Done through PayPal, secure payments, electronic and easy to use. And then it's got their phone number. Just 2 seconds, guys. Sorry. I'll be right back, guys. I'm so sorry. My kids came running in and they thought something was burning, but thank God it wasn't. It was just Mama cooking earlier. Okay, sorry about that. Thank the Lord. All right. And this says it's very interesting how religious she became after Michael Vaughn went missing. The truth is this: Jesus Christ is the only way to his Father in heaven, and his Spirit will lead you through this whole life if you just submit to him and do what he said. Confess you are a sinner and need Jesus to save you because he was the perfect sacrifice. You see sin needs sacrifice to cover it. Not just any sacrifice. He had to be made for sin, a perfect, spotless lamb. God is the only one good. None of us are. Not only he is so, her writing is horrible. Not only he had to send his son to die because he literally was the only one who could come live in perfect, spotless life for us as a pardon for all sin. When he was on the cross, he wasn't just suffering physically, but was suffering for us by taking all of our sin and shame of the whole world upon himself, even the future ones, the ones for you and me upon himself. He didn't remain in the grave. He rose again because with this is how bad it is. KUZ. Because sin and shame can't hold perfection down. Because CUZ. The grave was made for the sinner and sinner for the grave. No one who is perfect, aka God himself, he conquered sin and death. And now we only live in its shadow. Okay, I'm not reading all this crap. So, this seems more like a church. Just join me in helping not only our community but reaching outwardly, and it's got a GoFundMe here. Interesting. They got this. It doesn't really have anything about a taxi business. Seem like a child. Yeah. I mean, to me, there is a reason why they constantly got grifters, people who may be down on their luck, may be addicted, homeless, that kind of thing, and brought them in their house. To me, in my opinion, I'm judging here, but it was not for the love of Jesus Christ. I'll just say that. To me, it was something more nefarious. They wanted them for a purpose. Now, what that purpose is, I don't know. Yeah, Will Frog, you're right. You are so right about that. And let me show you guys a few more things here. This was earlier. All human remain canine dogs brought on the property of Sarah and Stacy Wandra alerted Fruitland Chief Police. Okay, that was not the one I was wanting to show you. Let me see if it. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can make it bigger for you guys. Okay. Suspect at large, please share everyone he is wanted for questioning in connection to the kidnapping and possible murder of 5-year-old Michael Joseph Vaughn from Fruitland, Idaho. To report this tip, you can remain anonymous. Adrian Lucian, 32 years old, from Toledo, Ohio. He is believed to be in Toledo area, but frequently travels between Toledo and California. And they need to, Adrian needs to talk, to say the very least. What is this? Okay. To date, Fruitland police investigators believe that there were 4 individuals abducted. Okay. Brandon Shirtliff, 30, of Kuna, Idaho. So he's originally from Kuna, but he is believed to be in North Dakota. Adrian Lucian, 32, of Toledo, Ohio. He is currently believed to be in Toledo, but floats between California and Ohio. Okay. I don't think there's anything here that I haven't told you guys. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, okay. What else do I got here? A couple seconds. Pull it up. Having a little bit of technical difficulties earlier. Now, I want to tell you about Adrian. There's something very interesting here I want to show you. A little bit about his background here. This says, this is from ABC6, and this was not, recent. The search revealed a digital scale with white residue. Troopers say a passenger voluntarily produced the contraband. The 2 passengers include 19-year-old Jenna Murphy of Buffalo, New York, and 28-year-old Adrian Lucien of Toledo, Ohio. Both were incarcerated in the Wood County Justice Center and charged with possession and trafficking methamphetamine, both second-degree felonies. So they are, we do know that Adrian has been charged for drug trafficking. That's pretty interesting if you ask me. As well as it's a big trafficking area. Toledo, Adrian is a piece of work. But let me I've got a let me pull up my drive here, and I can show you a little bit about Adrian, his what he has been charged with in the past. So Adrian has been charged with the following. This was in Lucas, Ohio. The case year was 2013. Adrian was charged with domestic violence, knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to family or household member. So this goes to show you that Adrian is violent and dangerous. charged, filed December 24th, 2013, criminal damaging or endangering knowingly cause or create substantial risk of physical harm. And it says criminal damaging or endangering knowing cause or create substantial risk of physical harm. Okay, yeah. All right. And then he was also charged with that December 4th, 2013 for menacing, and we've got June 5th, 2012, charges filed dogs failure to keep under reasonable control of some person amended from fail to confine vicious or dangerous dog on premises. So he's one of those people that probably keeps untrained dogs for maybe protection or whatever, just one of those people. Let's see here. Motor vehicle and motorcycle brakes amended from ruling for driving in marked lanes, drive within single lane or charge lane safety. Huh. And then he's got something in California for 2017, but it's not saying there. Another charge from 2017. It's not telling us what it is. Another charge from 2018. He was in custody for. Don't know. It doesn't say. Not specified. (2018) released type. He was released from jail October 30th. So he was only in jail for 2 weeks there. It's saying that sometimes it's saying that he is 6'5". So he would definitely stand out. He would definitely stand out if he is 6'5". Not a problem standing out, right? Definitely not a problem. And then it looks like in 2018, he is back in Ohio. December 6, 2018, it says aggravated trafficking, a felony. What kind of trafficking is my question? Is that the drug trafficking charge that we was talking about earlier? Or is that any type of human trafficking? Yeah, 6'5" is very tall. Okay, November 27th, 2018, trafficking in drugs, felony second degree. Aggravated drug possession. December of 2010, he was charged with aggravated common law robbery. And it looks like he was in jail there for a while too. Aggravated felony conspiracy. And that was the crime location there was Guilford, North Carolina. Charged with assault, inflict to serious injury, bodily harm. Second-degree trespass, breaking and entering. That was all North Carolina. And what else? How the hell does people get in trouble this much? It's beyond me. He's got a couple more things in California, but it doesn't say what it is. November 27, 2018, offense. It says offense, second-degree felony. Conviction date, December 6, 2018. Trafficking in drugs. December 4th, 2013, charges filed criminal damaging or endangering knowingly caused or create substantial risk of physical harm. Interesting. He's got a record more than I can even begin to tell you, guys. Honest to God. Wow. Now, this is my question. Why would Sarah and Stacy want these people in their home whenever they have literally physically been arrested for physical violence? It just doesn't make sense. Second-degree trespass. Back to California again. Orange, California. Traffic complaint. Those don't really, matter. How many pages? Shit, man. Less likely. My God, I see you. You wasn't kidding. You was not kidding. Wow. Several pages. Yes. It sounds like it could be a big ring for sure. Career criminal. We have seen so many of these on. Yeah. Yes. Sarah threw Adrian out for drinking. Brandon said she didn't like drinking. Yeah. However, Brandon drinks. That's what I don't understand. If Sarah threw Adrian out, Brandon was popping them back left and right. Um, I think it was just an excuse for her. Boom, right there. Joe, I bet she threw him out for more than drinking. Sarah had a possession charge, right? Yes, she had a possession. Yeah. I mean, listen, there people better start talking as of today. I started thinking age trafficking when we started seeing all of these people coming and going in their home. Yeah, I mean, they didn't make a lot of money in the taxi business. So, why would they get these, vagabonds just bring them into your house? You don't know if these people are going to kill you. I mean, they would get them, they would pick them up somewhere and they would say, "Hey, you want to come to my house and, live?" I mean, it's dangerous. Doing a taxi service is actually a very dangerous job. You don't know who you're letting in your car, right? Who use taxis when Uber is around? Yeah, it's true. Taxis are a dead way now. Everyone uses Uber or Lyft. Cha cha. That's exactly what I was thinking because you have to remember what Brandon said. Brandon said that they like to do the long distance. Remember him saying that in JLR's uh, interview that he likes, or Sarah and them like doing the long distance. And remember, they would go to Las Vegas. Is it, Stacy? Lyft is so much safer. I see. I mean, I've done an Uber one time, and that's because I had to get to my car. My car was in the shop, and I had to go pick up my car. And that's the only time I've ever done an Uber like by myself. That's another good question. Who can get a taxi license with all of them felonies? Yeah, it could be. It could be. But I really think this is one of two things. Either A, it was an accident, like they were just messing around, probably them in the car, goofing off, wasn't paying attention, and either hit Michael with the car, or there was a deep, deep sickness in that household of the mind. Unless it's like a car service, but they need a TLC license. But police said abduction. That's true. That's true. I don't know what I'm thinking. You're right. You're right. An abduction. Well, I mean, an abduction could still be, you know, they don't know that he's hit, but they know that they took him, which would be an abduction. So it could still be, I guess, an accident. Like the initial thing that caused an accident for them, and they flipped out. He could have been wounded. I don't know. I don't know. But I tell you another thing that really had me reeling from that interview with Hot Tub Brandon. Sorry. He said that there was a crawl space in that house. Hold on a minute. Who was the Domino's guy? I see you. Um, or does anyone know if anyone in that house worked for a pizza company? Yeah, Brandon. Sure, yeah. But I call him, Hot Tub. The Blue Rose. Okay, yeah, Brandon. But the crawl space that Brandon was talking about, I think, and the police believe that with evidence that they know they are related to the abduction uh, of Michael Vaughn. Why would Brandon just randomly say, "Oh yeah, there's a crawl space," and one day I walked in the room and there's a carpet that kind of covers it so you don't know it's there, and it was just wide open and the cats were going down in there and peeing in it. Hot Tub Pizza Course guy. Do we know that? What was the? Does anybody know the pizza guy's name? Yes, the crawl space. Yes, I noticed that too. Brandon interviewed. He said two opposites and argued because Sarah didn't like drinking, but he also said that he would barbecue and have a few beers, and he also said he would drink it on the couch as well. But he also said another thing, that their house wasn't that clean, that Sarah didn't keep a clean house. But then he also said that Sarah would get annoyed because things weren't picked up. So that always made me. Brandon was the pizza guy? Brandon was the pizza guy. Hot Tub Brandon. Was he the one that delivered the pizza that day? To the Vaughns? Tony, thank you, baby. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support, honey. Holy shit. On a shingle. Trouble said he didn't. Brandon worked for Domino's at one time. I need to dig more into that. I'll find out, I promise you that. If they undug him just bones and moved in crawl space, would give a scent. There would still be, like, if there is a body laying on the ground, on the top of the ground, and uh, after everything has been decomposed, like off, I'm just trigger warning, off the bone, then the putrefaction and all the breakdown in your body, every plant and everything around it will die for at least a year. Nothing will grow there. But after a year or so, it will be everything will flourish in that area. Like the grass will be the greenest grass or plant, that where there was a body. Joe has a pic of him. Thinking law enforcement raised their names for a reason. And whose car towed abandoned from? Yes. Good question, April. Good question. Whose car was towed and abandoned that address July of 2021? Well, you see, Brandon said the day that Michael Vaughn went missing, they were over towing a car, right? And to me, I don't feel like that they may have towed a car, but did that car get stuck in the mud? What happened is what I want to know. Did the car get stuck in the mud? Um, why were you towing a car? Where was the car? Do you have proof the car was there? You wonder if Sarah's neighbors are nervous tonight. Well, if they're not there in the morning, I would say that, yeah, they're probably nervous. No, I don't know. That's a good question, Cassie. I think he said it was his car and they went back to his house or his family's house. We might do a live and figure more of that out in the future. We got 732 likes. If we get up to 900 in just the next little bit, I will give out 10 memberships for the month. Thank you, Crafting with Amy. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. You need to watch that video with the interview with JLR. Brandon said he was towing his car from his. Yes, yeah. That's the video I was talking about, Camille. That's exactly the video I was talking about. I don't believe there was an actual tow truck. I believe they hooked a chain. Yeah. I don't think it was an actual tow truck either. Yeah, we'll give out 10 memberships if you just get it to 900. Where are we at? 765, 766. Come on, we're almost there. Is shirtlift a joke name because it means something else in the UK? What does it mean in the UK? Because my sister lives in Scotland, and I want to be like, I'll ask her next time. Like a flat, yeah, it could be a flat toe with straps or just a chain or whatever. Let me dig up something here. See if I got it. Okay. They made a really good clear photos of these guys. But to me, like, this is an older photo, definitely, of Brandon. wanted for questioning, wanted for questioning. You know, and to me, it sounded like also in that interview that Brandon, he's like, well, I'm going to get arrested if I go back, probably because I seen a report case by the city is addressing 1102. Really? April, can you send me that? You can remember? I would like to see that. It would be amazing if YouTubers really cracked cases. JRR did a great interview. Oh, that's nice, Boo. Yeah, he said it was for what did he say? What did he say it was for? Marijuana, wasn't it? Yeah, whatever. He would do time for a drug charge. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be a really big drug charge. You know, I don't imagine Hot Tub Guy was tipsy, so he was spilling the beans. Maybe. Thank you, little bear. Thank you so much. Chris M and his team helped more than anyone, in my opinion. Absolutely. Of course. Vet Girl, in my opinion as well, there's no comparison. I mean, Chris, he was former law enforcement, you know, and, you know, he still comes with the Cold Case Foundation, and he does a lot. Sorry, I need to get my soda. 95 more. I'll give out 10 memberships. All right. My nose is so stopped up from having a little tear a minute ago. All right. I need to open up my Google Drive. Drive. Share. Um, Michael Vaughn. All right. I see. Do you like oh, you got it under monkey. Okay. Now, I'm wondering about this Caesar guy too, guys. Caesar Anthony Grotto. He was there as well, right? He stayed in the house as well. Um, and he has controlled substances. I mean, listen, if you think all of these guys that are staying in this house, right? They're staying in this house and they can't even drink, but they got all these drug charges on them. And you think they're staying clean? You got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. 15 memberships were gifted by our rock stars vet girl. and Fluffy. Oh, thank you, Big Girl and Fluffy. Thank you, guys. Are we at 900? 820. Come on. We got 80 more. Let's get 80 more. Hit the thumbs up. I'll give 10 memberships. Hit the thumbs up. I'll give the membership. And it's a way to get it out into the algorithm for little Michael Vaughn. So everyone can know this story. It's a very important story. It took a long time for them to, in the beginning when a lot of us web sleuthers were trying to do this case, it was he was abducted and that's it. His mom was in jail. His dad was inside changing a diaper. He was out playing, trying to find the neighbor's friends, and that was it. There was really nothing else to this case that that we could really do other than just keep the story out. But there was no movement. There was literally, there was no movement publicly. I'll just say that. There may have been movement behind the scenes, but nothing was ever leaked. Nothing was ever said. They would do like an update, but it was, what did I say? What did I say? Mom was at work, right? Did I say jail? I said jail? She was at work. Why did I say? Holy shit. Did I say jail? Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Retract that. Brandy was at work. Brandy was at work. Brandy was at work. And Dad was changing a diaper. Why did I say jail? I don't know. I'm had that. My mind is fried after today. It really is. After this week, to be quite honest with you, I apologize for that, guys. We need 50 more likes. That's it, and 10 people is going to get a free membership. 50 more likes, and I'm going to give out 10 free memberships. And I'll tell you, YouTube, from what I understand, picks the ones who interact the most, hit the thumbs up, and all of that as well. So if you hit the thumbs up, you interact in the chat room, you are more likely in any chat, not just this chat, likely to get a membership. They want people who interact with the chat and with hitting the thumbs up and that kind of thing. So yeah, I love Brandy. She, I've talked to Brandy offline, and she's always been a sweet soul. Thank you, Hattie. You don't think Adrian will come forward? Well, if Adrian don't come forward, they're coming for him, and they made that clear. So you better not run. Bad boys, bad boys. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate it. So this membership, it'll last a month, and so you'll get the perks, and also like when I put it on slow mode and stuff, you won't be on slow mode. When you're a member of any channel, you're not on slow mode, which I don't have slow mode on at all right now. I'm sorry, mods. know where they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they know exactly where every single one. They're probably watching them very closely. The more times you chat in the lives, push the like button, the better chance you get a membership. Yep, that's right. I love you too, Carla. Does Adrian have a Facebook or Instagram? He probably did until the interview the other day, or until his name was announced. I bet you he probably still does, but it's probably locked down solid, right? Oh my God, we need uh like 12 more, 13 more. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a member for 4 months. That is a huge compliment. It's always a compliment. Just your members and the people who support you, and of course the Patreons. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys make it possible. You can unlike and like again. Don't do that. Just one like. 10 more. Come on. Come on. Let me get my membership thing ready so I can give some memberships. All right. Where are we at? Let me look at my phone. I'm going to give some memberships. $998. Two more. Come on. Two more. $903. Perfect. Thank you guys. Hooray. Bam. Who do we got? Who do we got? Congratulations, Crystal Hibbard. Congratulations, Mr. J. Quinn. Congratulations, JMEK. Congratulations, Nilza. Congratulations, Busheet. I think I missed the other ones. They went so fast. All right. Congratulations, Carrie. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Congratulations, Lisa, Rose Petal, Georgette. Yay. Auntie M, Crystal. Thank you, guys. Y'all are awesome. Thank you. Oh, Rose, thank you so much for your you are so sweet. You are loved by many. Thank you. That means a lot. It really does. Yup, I'm nosy. Thank you so much for the super chat and the thumbs up. Thank you. Very kind. Tony McQueen, thank you, my love. It's good to see you. Always a pleasure. All right. So very good. We did it. We did it together, guys. Thank you. You are very sweet. Pop the champagne. Why do the system continue to let career criminals out? It's so freaking terrorist. Don't even know what to say. I agree. You're welcome, Lisa. You guys are welcome. Congratulations. I'm going to start. I have not done a one single thing of Christmas shopping. Nothing. Nothing. Not at all. I am going to be giving out more memberships as the lives continue as well. Yeah. So I am going to be working on the Idaho for college students Oh my God. I haven't been live much about that case, but I can tell you that I have been digging up, me and my team, we have been digging up so much in that. And it's such a sad case. It really is. I mean, there's just sad, my goose egg just turned into a golden egg. Thank you, Justin. You're welcome, Lulu. God bless you. Tube name is short for Jamie K. Oh, okay. Jamie, listen, I am as blonde as it comes when it comes to uh, anything that's supposed to, like JMEK, Jamie. I get it, JMEK. Um, like anything that abbreviates, I'm lost. People are always doing like abbreviations, and I'm literally Googling what does IMO, which is in my opinion now, but like, so I'm just saying, for example, like, what does it mean? Sorry, I don't get it. Blonde. Thank you, Betty Crocker. Well, it is an honor to have all of you here, and I appreciate your time. Um, thank you for everything. Thank you so much, Martini. Not quite the original 1,000, but I did match J Frey at 900. Keep the likes up. Oh, thank you, Martini. God bless you. I'm just telling you guys, uh, as creators, we all get a lot of heat at times. Sometimes rightfully, and sometimes not. And as crazy as YouTube gets, as creators, for those of us that try to do good, um, we have to always remember that we're here for the victims. The victims is why we are here. And we are here for our subscribers. And that is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. So I just want to say that I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I, never take anything for granted in life, because it's precious and it's finite as well. Thank you, Camille. God bless you, honey. Oh, you're welcome, Caitlin. Thank you so much. So I do appreciate you all. And I know in the true crime community are really loyal subscribers. They really do care for these victims, um, because they have to. They have to. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here day in and day out. And I'm also aware that you guys have a lot of choices on YouTube to support the ones that you like and not support the ones that you don't care for. And some don't care for me. I get that, and that is their right, as it is anyone's right. But I am truthfully thankful for the ones that support me. So thank you all. It's been a rough week, to say the least, with the cases, and everything else in between. Um, I have a very soft heart for these cases. Um, it hurts to think of the parents and these kids that go through this stuff. So, with that said, I'm going to say goodnight. I've been a crying idiot all day. I think I need sleep, probably. So thank you all. I appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. And I'll be live tomorrow at some times. I appreciate you all. God bless each and every one of you. And I appreciate it. Good night. God bless.